Welcome back, everyone. Cairo is full of ancient landmarks, which are numerous and stand alongside more contemporary monuments that are the result of modern Egypt under the legacy of the leader Abdel Nasser. And the monuments of Cairo are all fascinating to visit and offer an insight into ancient civilizations and customs. Actually, the city's metropolitan area is the largest in the Middle East and the Arab world, and 15th largest in the world. And it is associated with ancient Egypt as the famous Giza Pyramid Complex and the ancient city of Memphis, located near the Nile Delta. Modern Cairo was founded in 969 by Jawhar al-Saqali of the Fatimid dynasty, but the land composing the present-day city was the site of ancient national capitals whose remnants remain visible in parts of Old Cairo. Now, this is just to give you an idea that Cairo is a very interesting place to visit for tourists. Tourists are to come to Cairo. Limit their visits to the Grand Museum in Tahrir Square or the pyramids in Giza. There are also very interesting places around Cairo, the old Fatimid Cairo, as I mentioned, even here in Heliopolis. So in order to know more about that, we are joined by Mr. Mahmoud Farouk. He is an Egyptologist and he's going to tell us everything we need to know about the monuments in Cairo, and in particular the Bara'im Palace. Mr. Mamdouh Farouk.
Hello.
Hi, sir, and
Hello.
welcome to Nile Cruise.
Welcome. I am lucky today to be with you to talk about the masterpiece of the architecture in Egypt. The was considered as a unique and amazing the palace in Egypt.
Sir, let's first start. Of course, we need to know more and we need to have a big background about this place, but let's know the mysteries about this. We always hear stories and we always hear rumors, but what are true and what are not true? Tell us more.
Yes, all people around us are interested to know what the mysterious and the ambiguous actions that would happen inside this palace. Some narrations say that the Edward Ibn, the Pelagian millionaire that came from India, that was interested in Egypt and who wanted to make a railway station, railway lines to connect between the center of Cairo, the downtown, to the Matareya, it's called Heliopolis at the ancient times titles. So some people say that his sister there was suicides from this palace from second floor, and her souls the coming and for alive to the some voicing and some sound that happened inside, and the screaming and the scary actions that would have inside. So some people when the passing through or by this palace, they were hearing some sound or some voice. So we can say some blood on the mirrors inside the kitchen's room, the underground on this palace.
This is true?
Yeah, yeah. Yes, the mirror was stained by blood. Okay, with this blood, it's not
maybe it's bats, maybe.
Yes, bats, not human blood. It's bats' blood. So it's scary. Some people say that it's a furniture moving from room to room.
There's no furniture inside.
At the ancient time, when Edward Ibn was living inside this palace and with his family, so it was the classical family that came from the Pelagian. He was fond of Egypt. He recommended to be in Egypt after his death. This is a hint about the scary, but it's not true. This palace was haunted.
This place is not haunted.
Not what haunted, but some people that stayed at this palace at 1997 and practiced satanic rituals. Okay, inside this place, and the root, some graffitis or some writes about what the signs of the Masonic or the satanic slogans in their minds, and were dressing wearing black dress to practice this ritual or satanic rituals. Those mythical, not nonsense that was happened, but the palace is safe and nothing has happened, nothing, not scary. But the style, the Indian Cambodian style, it's inspired by Edward Ibn, can give you some impression that is a the horror and
but it doesn't attract spirits.
Yes, yes.
It doesn't. Okay.
Okay.
Now, before we go into details and much information I want to know from you about the palace, I would like you to tell me about the places that shouldn't be missed if a tourist is to visit Cairo. What are the interesting places, of course, in addition to the palace?
Yes, some interesting places or architectures or archaeological sites in Egypt is neglected, not allowed to visit.
In Cairo.
In Cairo, so you can see, we can see Shaheen al-Khalwati is this mosque on the Jabal Mu'attam or the Mu'attam mountain. It's not allowed. We can tell you the blue mosque in Al-Mu'azzin al-Fatimi, the Fatimic periods. The blue mosque, it was made of ceramic or blue ceramic. Is not allowed, no one can see it. We can tell about the desert in Paradise in Egypt. We can talk about the Greek theater in Alexandria. We talk about Cairo. Yes, we can.
This one, is it? It was destroyed recently. The Greek.
Yeah, the
Cairo,
Roman theater. Roman theater is not destroyed, but it's still some remains of this.
No, I mean they destroyed to build on it.
Yes, yes,
huge building.
yes. But you're talking about the monuments in Cairo. Al-Mu'azzin al-Fatimi. It's somehow neglected. We can say in Cairo. The Paron Palace is the most one. You can say the most one is in the Paron Palace.
Okay, sir, why these places are neglected? We have a Ministry of Antiquities. It has its own funding. It has a huge number of people working in this place. So
yes, yes.
Do you have priorities in order to take care of one place than the other? Or, I don't know, what's the problem?
Yes, I can tell you the Mamluk tombs of cemetery. Okay, beside or nearby Sayyidah Aisha, okay, area is not neglected because it needs some restorations. It needs some media or advertisements to let the people know what's the importance or significance of this area. But unfortunately, in Egypt, we have no the media or the touristical media to let you know what's the important sites, what the touristical sites in Egypt you have to visit. All the tourists interested in pyramids, Egyptian museum, Citadel, and the most important. But we have some others the monuments in Egypt needs to be visited.
Okay, now tell us, Mr. Farouk, about this palace in particular. Now, you told us about the mysteries surrounding the palace. If we talk about the difficulties when it came to building this palace.
Edward Impan. I want to tell you the very important about the personal or biography about Edward Impan. Edward Joseph Impan, there was a millionaire or Belgian millionaire. He stayed many years in India, and he was the industrialist and was engineer to make railway lines in Belgium, and he was granted a title in Baron from the King of Belgium. Okay, so he was called the Baron. Baron is not name, it's a title that was granted by the King of Belgium. Okay, he came to Egypt to build a new style of the city. It's called Heliopolis. According to the Heliopolis or Matareya, that was the ancient capital of Egypt at the first dynasty, is a cult center of the worshipping the god Re. Okay, so he wanted to erect a palace that was exposed to the sun all the daytime. It was the Baron Palace. So he wanted to make a center. He, the founder of Masr Gedida or Heliopolis in Egypt, he entitled or assigned the Porsche, the French engineer, to build our two railway lines between Heliopolis to the downtown, to revive our to make infrastructure in this bed. No water, no electricity. So we wanted to make or establish a new city. It's called Heliopolis. According to Heliopolis, is a kilometers of away from here. It was the center of the worshiping the god Re in Egypt.
So what's so unique about this place in order to build his own palace?
unique style.
About this place.
Why did they choose this location?
This place in
Yes,
particular.
it's considered at eastern side, eastern desert. Okay, it's very close to El Mataraya or the Heliopolis. He studied this place at the sun. Okay, they came here all the daytime, and it's a cult of the sun. So he was interested in factory this place or this palace, to build it, to be away from the downtown, to be nearby to the Mataraya or Heliopolis, Ain Shams or Mataraya. Okay, the new style, new concept, new singing, new place away from the population and the crowded. This is what obstructed his mind.
Okay. Is it true that it is subject to the sun rays all day time? The palace?
Yes, during the daytime, the sun was exposed at the roof and all the aspects, all the sides of this palace. We can see it when you visit with me, the look in the tour around this palace. You will find at the sun, they were vertically visit this palace at the daytime.
Okay. Did the Baron Irfan live in this palace? Because Dr. Muhammad, before you told us that there was some sort of dispute between the Sultan at that time.
Yes. He had a project. He had a project to make railway lines, but the contract of the railway and this company is stopped at this time, and he decided. He came 1904 after the Swiss Canal integration. Okay, and this palace, the date of integration was 1911. Okay, he's from the 1907 until 1911 is the period that he erected this. This was dispute with the governmental or the British government at this time, but he decided to build a special and private palace to him, and to continue his projects to build another railway lines to connect between the downtown to Heliopolis city.
Sir, do you have any idea about the furniture that was inside this place?
Yes.
What kind of furniture?
Yes, Weather Portrait was described as the wine squeezing and grape squeezing, but it's not. It's now lost. We can we know about the clock. It's compared with Buckingham at London. The clock was comprised or the component hours, minutes, days, and all aspects of moon, the crescent. This was in the clock. The word special and amazing clock. But now it has disappeared because it's stolen, because this palace was stolen and the old times.
And we need to know more about that. I want to know the story. How is everything stolen? I mean, we're talking about huge stuff. We're not talking about small things. We're talking about furniture, huge clock, as you mentioned. How come was it stolen?
Yes,
and when it was stolen?
Yes. According to narrations, I didn't see it, but according to narration, so it's the two floor here, the underground and the second floor with a furniture and the decoration of the mythical dragon. Though according to Indian, you can see here the style of architecture or decorations according to Indo-Orissa temples in India and Cambodia, the style. This because he was fond of India and he stayed many years in India. So there wasn't a lot of furniture and the masterpieces of furniture, but unfortunately is now lost. It's now stolen. We can say it's stolen because this palace was neglected for many years.
Yeah.
The bats only that living inside this palace. Bats.
Okay, I heard a story about this palace. Correct me if I'm wrong. They said that his daughter, the daughter of the Baron Impan, committed suicide here. She threw herself out of the window. So this is true or not?
Daughter or sister? I know that his sister, not daughter, but his daughter was handicapped. It was not intact. So living with his father. There was a funny story that the people passing by this palace, they were hearing some scary screaming inside, and they claimed and complained about. They claimed to let that Edward Impan to desert or leave this palace, and it happens actually. It actually happened.
What happened?
That the whole family of Baron deserted Egypt or left Egypt because some inhabitants around this palace that was complaining of hearing or hearing some screaming and screaming voices in this palace. This was the funny, and I guess that it were real, or actually it was done, that all the family left Egypt according to the complaining of the inhabitants around this place.
Okay. Mr. Farouk, you're also a tour guide, so let's talk touristically about the importance of this place. Now, what can we do in order to bring tourists here? I think a lot of work has to be done by the media, by the Ministry of Tourism, by the Ministry of Antiquities, by tour agents, and so on and so forth. What if we can bring all these efforts together?
Yeah.
What is the role of each and every one in order to see tourists here coming and visiting this amazing place?
Yes, it's a nice question. We have to focus on shed more light about these questions, because many tourists in when passing by this palace, they were keen and interested to take photos abroad or outside of this palace. This palace needs restoration, and the Ministry of Antiquities decided to take some steps to make a restoration. Yes, and now they take some measurements, and after the 3 months or 4 months, the restoration will start or begin. This is one step. How to promote this palace to be visited, or we can see a destination for the tourist.
There is one particular characteristic about the location of this place.
It's unique characteristic, yes?
Apart from, of course, the architecture, the mystery and everything, it is very close to the airport. So it could be included in a program for tourists before they go to the airport to leave, or the first thing they can visit after they come. I mean, it's a few minutes from the airport, so it's away from the traffic and downtown traffic. This is one distinguished thing about the place. So
yes.
Why isn't it used or utilized?
Yes, yes. The first step is the restoration, and the if you enter inside this palace, it's broken, it remains. It's ruins inside the furniture, and
we want
the
to tell the viewers that we are going to have a tour after we finish.
It's a promise.
After
Okay.
the program.
Okay, you will see some. Yes, so you will be sorry for seeing that inside, because it's destroyed. Destroyed from inside.
We heard
yes.
that this place needs a quick restoration,
yes,
because many people here say it's going to fall.
Quick
or it's going to be
restorations,
destroyed.
the quick propaganda, make some photo sessions for this palace, and to put it in a program, a touristic program, with the tourist groups that will come to Egypt. This is very important to put it in the touristical map in Egypt. When you see you visit the pyramids, you have to visit this palace. It needs to be visited. But we are waiting for the more decisions about restoration. So, and later we can see this Paron is most important, amazing destination in Egypt to be visited from the tourists outside.
Okay, if we take the restoration as a first step,
yeah.
Okay, what would be the next step in order to raise funds and maintain the palace? Because there were ideas about, for example, having a gallery here or a small museum.
Nice ideas. Yes, galleries, or make some sellers here to buy some products in to attract the movement of the touristic groups. It's a very important, nice ideas. Well, it had to be done. It must be done in Egypt at the soon. We have not to delay it.
But we're waiting for the restoration step as a first step.
Yes, yes, we have to restore it, because this palace is destroyed from inside. Yes.
Okay, so tell us more about the family of the Baron Impan, and he as a person. Tell us more about it.
His family was including his sister, his daughter, okay, and he came to Egypt with some friends.
What about his wife?
Not one. She isn't one mentioned in the stories that was coming with him. Maybe he was. My colleagues tell you more about the inspector of this palace. Tell you more about this palace and his family. But the most important idea or concept that he was fond of ancient Egyptian civilization. He was connected between the Heliopolis, the God ray, did you visit Matariyah, or you can see the square of Matariyah al-Masalla? The one, the single obelisk, the one inside as a Matariyah. There was a district or suburb of Matariyah. There was a center cult of the worshipping of Gadra. He wanted to make another one, another city, Heliopolis, Masr al-Jadida. It's equal to Matariyah or Heliopolis. It's a name.
Okay, is it Ain Shams?
Ain Shams, you can see Matariyah. Matariyah is a suburb of Matariyah. It's in particular.
Ain Shams is full of monuments. I mean, we hear
but
stories
now
about
is ruins, and were replaced by the modern building. Replaced by modern building, and that's because now the single obelisk of Senusert I and remains of the temple Ra Atom is remains of
the question remains, why isn't it a touristic destination? Why don't we have tourists going to visit such an obelisk? I mean, to them, this should be something amazing to do.
No monuments there. No monuments there.
No more.
It's under houses.
Buildings, he said.
All monuments under houses. Yes, was the period under houses. You can know that the population of this
but
area.
You know the location of these monuments, or you don't know?
What?
You know the location, the places of these monuments, or you don't know?
The location of these monuments?
Of the one that was built on.
Yes,
the buildings on each
yes,
one. You know it.
Heliopolis was mentioned in the first pyramid text in Egypt. The first religious text that was mentioned in Egypt at the first dynasty. That is Bemben, is a place of creation, is a center of creation of the world. It's a God atom. You know that the sun passed from the three phases. The sunrise is called Hebri, is a god of the sunrise. Ra is the daytime, and Atom is the sunset. So this word, the cult center of this in Heliopolis, in the Matariyah, remains. We can now housing the houses on the remains or debris of this time.
Okay. If we're talking about interesting places in Cairo, we have also monuments belonging to the Fatimid era.
Yeah.
Okay, tell us more about it, because we need to focus on attracting tourists to visit Cairo. Cairo is a stable city. It's amazing as Aswan and Luxor and Alexandria and Hurghada and Sharm el-Sheikh, so we need more people visiting Cairo.
You know that the most of tradition and custom in Egypt, the world belonged to the Fatimid periods. The when Al-Mu'izz al-Din al-Fatimi sent Gawar Suqali, okay, at 1969, okay, AD. He established all the walls of Cairo and surrounded by walls and 7 gates of the Fatimid Cairo. Al-Mu'izz 1 kilometer and 200 meters is the long of this square. It's including Fatimid, Mamlukid, Ottomans, and Turkish, all the various kinds of the monuments. Fatimid periods. Cairo, it needs to be, we can shed more lights about the Cairo or Islamic. Okay, Jama al-Azhar or the Azhar Mosque, it was a Fatimic and transformed to the Sunni or the Sunni system at the later time. We can say Ibn Qalawun system or the group of Ibn Qalawun, the first primary stand or that hospital in the Arabian times. Muhammad Nasr ibn Qalawun and his father Qalawun, okay, the Sultan Qalawun. We can say the daughter of Nigm Salih ad-Din Ayyub, he is the husband of the Shakir al-Dor.
Yes.
Shakir al-Dor at this time. We can say Al-Hakim Amrillah, he was a mentally deviated mentally. At this time he prevented Mulukhiyah and gold, and this was this mosque was a Noor mosque, not Al-Hakim Amrillah. It was outside of the wall of Cairo Fatimid period, but is including when Badruddin Jamali, the great minister in Egypt, he joined these monuments to the area. We have to visit, but we are lucky to know that Shah Al-Mu'izz at last days was a focus and the feasts in Ramadan that some people visit.
It was one of the places neglected again, but then after the restoration 2 years ago, yes, and installing all these lights, it became an attraction place.
We can see a Saliba Street. Saliba Street is connected between Sultan Hassan and the Rifai mosques. It's behind the Citadel of Salah ad-Din and Ahmed bin Tulun Mosque. شارع الصليبة or the Saliba Street is need more shared light.
Sir, you are saying many names we've almost heard for the first time. But
unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately. But as an Egyptologist, of course, you know many historical stories and weird ones. So tell us about the most famous and weird one.
About Egyptian monuments discovered.
Whatever.
Yes, okay. We can tell you about the story of discovering of the Kashiet Dir al-Bahri. That was discovered, okay, at 1971 by the family Abdul Rasul. They discovered the 44 mummies. 44 mummies. Okay, that was buried about the sites of the thieves and the looters. And now the 2 rooms in the Egyptian museum, including the 44 mummies. Thutmose III, Ramses II is the one Muhammad Rasul. He's lost his goat. There was this goat, walking in the desert, and there was falling inside the mountain. He was looking, searching for her, but he found the goat inside the well or shaft. So he discovered the Kashiet of the Dir al-Bahri. There was
that
yes,
is an interesting story.
Yes, the story.
For the goat
it's called discovery by accident. Yes, called discovery. We can say some Kumish Shu'afa tomb in Alexandria. It discovered by the one donkey, the walking on the Kumish Shu'afa, his leg, the falling down on the hole, so discovered. I tell you about the discovery of Tutankhamun tomb. The when a water boy, small water boy, was searching and playing on the dust, he suddenly found a first step leading to the tomb of Tutankhamun.
This is the first time for me to hear this story.
Yes, it was the boy from Ahmad Abdul Rasul. There was the family of Abdul Rasul. There was from the worker of labor that were working outside at Tutankhamun at the Valley of the Kings. Of the World Carter waiting 10 years to discover this tomb, but the little boy who discovered this tomb by accident when we're playing. We have the many stories about discovery in ancient Egypt, but I think that the time is tight to let about the more.
Okay, well, it is certainly interesting talking to you.
Thank you.
And telling us all information about the Baronial Prime Palace, about the interesting places to visit here in Cairo. I would like to thank you very much, Mr. Mamdouh Farouk, Egyptologist. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your stories and all the information you gave us today with us.
Welcome to the Baronial Palace. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll take a little break and we'll show you a special report by our colleague Dina Khoueda. Then we'll be right back to resume this edition of Nile Cruise. Stay with us.